Next,
I heard things I really just couldn't believe.
surprises that shake the foundation
And in fact, it wasn't embellished at all.
of a home's origins.
It was probably understated.
She had once ran a house of ill repute.
It's a home that has a curiously split personality. And when our next couple finally figured out why, they were relieved they didn't meet the original homeowner, whose nickname was War.
I heard things I really just couldn't believe. And in fact, it wasn't embellished at all. It was probably understated.
This Indianapolis, Indiana home has more than a few surprises lurking inside.
Okay, guys, why don't you come on down for breakfast now?
For starters, there are 9 kids living here.
Everybody.
And from what Tom and Jean Gaunt have learned about the home's builder, Warren Tate, the mischief their kids cause is nothing compared to the scandal he stirred up.
Well, there's an infamous story about Tate.
It was really surprising to find out that actually it was all true.
The very first time Jean laid eyes on the place,
I could never quite figure out this house.
she knew there was something strange about it.
The front looked so majestic, like a castle, but the back side of it looked plain, like maybe it was an addition or something that had been tacked on. What I found it is the most interesting part of my whole house.
Jean learned that Tate built the brick and stone German Renaissance-style home in 1878. But the back of the house is in the earlier Federal style, and how it got there was a mystery. Although the 4,000 square foot, 5-bedroom home now holds 11, originally there were only 2, Tate and his wife, who was a bit of a mystery herself.
Well, the rumor was that Mr. Tate had married his paramour and that she had once ran a house of ill repute.
The couple was childless, and judging by the massive oak doors to the study, Jean thinks Tate liked it that way.
We understand that when Warren Tate wanted to lock away the world, he'd just close these doors and be by himself.
Just what he cooked up behind those closed doors was shocking. When Tom was exploring the dark bowels of the house, he found some ominous-looking tools.
All kinds of hooks. This old machete. It's like a treasure trove down here. The children aren't allowed in the basement. It's not a very safe place for the children to be. My wife doesn't like to come down here either.
The rusted old metal was a cold, hard tie to Warren Tate, which left Jean wanting more.
It's very exciting and it's very intoxicating and exhilarating when you find little things in the house.
She searched old newspapers to get the who, what, when, where, and why.
Oh, Warren Tate was very infamous. In fact, his nickname was War. And I wasn't sure why, so I started doing some digging in the library and found out that he was notorious because he had shot and killed a man in the courthouse here in Marion County, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Jean was shocked to learn that story also solved the mystery of her mismatched addition.
Warren Tate owned the property that we're standing on, but he also had a lien against the property next door. And he once told the man, Milton Powder, that someday your parlor will be my kitchen.
True to his word, Tate foreclosed on the property, but Milton Powder took him to court, claiming Tate gave him an unfair price for the house.
So the assessor, William Love, was testifying against Tate, saying that he had not given him adequate compensation. Tate was not a man who took lightly to people's put-downs or judgments. And so when William Love implied he was a liar, it upset him ferociously. So after his testimony, Warren Tate followed William Love out into the corridor outside the courthouse. And when there was an exchange of words, William Love lifted his hand, at which time Warren Tate seized the opportunity, pulled out his gun, and shot him twice, and was attempting to shoot him a third time, except his arm was pulled away from him by the bailiff in another court.
Tate was hauled off to jail, but it was a short stay.
He wasn't in there terribly long because he was a wealthy man of his time and he could afford the dream team of 1878.
Warren Tate ultimately got off on a plea of self-defense. Case closed? Not quite.
The judge was so incensed that he had discharged a firearm in his courthouse that he fined him $10,000.
So at least Tate suffered some consequences. Or not.
Warren Tate took that ruling to the Supreme Court of Indiana and beat it.
In the end, Tate got exactly what he wanted, even if he didn't get what he deserved.
And so today, Milton Powder's 1840s parlor is now my kitchen.
Tom and Jean Gaunt don't approve of old Warren's actions, but they suspect he wouldn't approve of theirs either.
I think Warren Tate would roll over in his grave if he knew that 9 children and a set of parents lived in the same house where he and his wife lived.